Also this morning, former President Trump's offering a new defense of his handling of this classified material. This comes a week after he pled not guilty to those 37 federal charges. And on the campaign trail, Trump's Republican rivals are ramping up their calls for change, arguing they're better positioned to defeat President Biden in 2024. NBC's chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker has the very latest. Hey, Kristen, good morning.
Hi, Hoda. Good morning to you. A federal judge has barred former President Trump from disclosing or keeping any evidence set to be turned over by the government in this case. But in a new interview, Mr. Trump is giving some of his most extensive comments yet about the charges against him. In his first interview since pleading not guilty to 37 criminal charges tied to his handling of classified material, former President Trump delivered a new defense when asked why he didn't return classified documents subpoenaed by the Justice Department.
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to NARA yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen.
Yeah, but according to the indictment, you then tell this aide to move to other locations after telling your lawyers to say you'd fully complied with the subpoena when you hadn't.
But before I send boxes over, I have to take all of my things out. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things.
According to the indictment, Mr. Trump is accused of mishandling more than 100 classified documents and also showing classified material to other people who did not have clearance in 2021, including a military plan that he said remained secret. The indictment quotes an audio recording of Mr. Trump saying, "See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't." The former president pressed about that recording.
When I said that I couldn't declassify it now, that's because I wasn't president. I never made any bones about that. When I'm not president, I can't declassify.
And that's what you said. You didn't declassify it.
I said, no. I said I couldn't.
But
that wasn't a document, Brett. There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things.
So far, the charges against Mr. Trump have not dented his double-digit lead in the Republican presidential race. President Biden, who's also under investigation by a special counsel for his handling of classified material, which he turned over to authorities, hasn't commented about Mr. Trump's latest legal challenges. Instead, this week, stepping up his campaign rollout in California with 4 fundraisers on tap today. Now, as for Mr. Trump, his former attorney general turned critic Bill Barr is out with a new op-ed in the Free Press this morning. Barr writing Trump's indictment is not the result of unfair government persecution. This is a situation entirely of his own making. Barr also calling Trump's behavior indefensible, but still Mr. Trump continues to be the clear frontrunner for the Republican nomination. Hoda.
All right, Kristen Welker for us there in D.C. Kristen, thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.